What's going on out there? This is Kareem on the stream, and I'm your boy Just Tim hosting for today. We have a very special guest in the building, man, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, man. Neighborhood hero. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, man. Filmmaker, author, podcaster. He focused most of his projects on like social issues in the black community and change, and it's something that I hold really dearly to my heart. I want everybody to show your love. Give it up for Mr. Devin Walker. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Hey, man, I appreciate that intro. Thank you. I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Listen, I was told to, look you up and look at some of your things, man. I gotta say, your documentaries really were inspiring. Like, you talked about issues that I think aren't talked on enough in our community, man. And frankly, we just need more of it. We need more to see more black men in the community bringing awareness and showing people the way out of the situations that we into, man. I wanna let's start from just who you are, man. Who are you? Where you from? What you do, man?
So I'm Devin. I'm from West Baltimore, born and raised.
I'm sorry, we gotta stop the podcast. These West Baltimore guys are out of control, man.
Yeah, West Baltimore, born and raised, man. Let's see. I started filmmaking back in 2013. 2013 to 2015, I actually went to American University for producing for film and video.
My man.
And I wanted to start shooting movies. I got like 11 scripts that I actually never did anything with. But then in 2015, there was the uprising with the Freddie Gray situation. And my friends and I were a part of that, trying to, separate the police from the kids and just trying to bring some change and calm to the situation. Immediately after that, when things started to die down, there was another incident somewhere else, and they were just comparing the two cities. They were saying whatever the city was is bad, but it's not as bad as Baltimore. And I took that personally, and I wanted to do something to address it. So I created this project called Baltimore Love.
I mean, there are a lot of smart, young, professional African-American people who are doing a lot.
We've been open for 6.5 years, going on 7 years. Started in 2011 and been rolling.
We've been open for 1.5 years. So yeah, exactly like 1 year and 6 months. Actually 1 year and 7 months.
But this is really important to me. Our businesses creating a space for us, right? And everybody else is welcome without a question. It's not saying create a space for us and no one else is welcome. Not at all. That's foolish. No, we're saying that we need to have our own. We need to start owning stuff. We need to start owning land. We need to start owning businesses. And that revenue, because what happens is when we start supporting each other, right? We have these businesses, we have this land, we got these houses, we got things going on. We have an inner economy within the economy.
People can believe me. Some things are simple but not easy.
I pretty much just reached out to as many influential people as I can, business owners, politicians, just anybody that I can talk to that can show a positive side of the city. I feel like the more negative images that you see of yourself, the more you will internalize it, and then the more you will produce that thing. So I create projects based on showing what's going on in society and then trying to just find ways to show put a positive spin on it, or just educate people as to what's going on, just to try to uplift and inspire people. That's pretty much what my projects are about. That's what my books are about. Podcasts, everything is about that.
My man, and much needed, right? Just speaking on your project with Baltimore Love, I thought that it was really, I love the fact that you had the heart of Baltimore. Like, anybody from Baltimore, who the movers are, who the shakers are, right? And you had all of the people. It was just an authentic voice for Baltimore. Like, I seen Stokey in there, my man Wesley Hawkins was in there. You had Calvin and Kenny from the boxing gym. Yeah. Like, everybody talking about what they are doing to contribute to the benefit of the whole entire community. Because, the old saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child, right? And I think we need to get back to those roots, right? Helping people out. Like, they were talking about Coach Calvin and them, talking about how they worked with Javante, right, from a youth. Right. Everybody sees the height of where he came from. Now he's the boxing champ. He killing them out there, right? But don't nobody know, like, they were the ones in the community when he was in trouble with the law, had to get him off of him. You know what I mean? Keep him out the streets. Talk about, like, the importance of that kind of leadership in the communities as men, just in those kind of things. Like, what is our role in that, and what can we do to get back to to our old roles of just the protectors of the community?
Well, I think honestly, man, on a large scale, you guys are doing that with Stream DMV. That's why I'm honored to be a part of, or having my work a part of your platform, because a lot of people are doing different things. You know, you're going to have the people outside with the bullhorn and saying, hey, get off the corners, blah, blah, blah. But you're going to have other people like me who may write books or create films. And then you're going to have people like you guys who have a platform for us to share that information. I think the biggest thing is getting the information out there, is being able to connect with people and just show a different way, a different side of doing things. So I really, I don't think there's a one-way approach to getting things done. We just got to get it done. We just got to continue to do the things that we do.
And speaking of that, right, like you said, connecting those dots that need to be connected and getting that information out to the community. One of your other documentaries, Eating While Broke in Redline Communities.
Yeah.
Again, like another masterful piece of work, dude. Like I was watching that, and some of the information that you were giving on it, not to give too much, I want y'all to go to Stream DMV and watch that.
In every black community, you had what? Liquor store, a church, a Chinese hair supply store, and a fast food restaurant.
I could order the food online, but it's not guaranteed that I'm gonna get exactly what I'm ordering all the time, because it might not be in stock, or the person who picks my food isn't gonna pick my food for me. That's the same as somebody with dietary needs.
I really only have one decent supermarket near me. One. The others are okay, but it's not good quality, not good safety. I mean, these are all things to factor in, especially as a woman when it comes to grocery shop. A single woman grocery shopping in the urban area by herself at that. I mean, these are things to factor in. Safety, the produce, all those things. So it's really only one decent supermarket within a 5-mile radius of me.
In Baltimore City, there are 937 carryouts, 1,567 corner stores, 293 fast food chains, 264 liquor stores, yet only 64 supermarkets.
Talk about food deserts.
Food deserts.
And
Okay,
what exactly is a food desert?
So a food desert is if you live in a community where you don't have easy access to fresh fruits and vegetables, just groceries in general, you're living in a food desert. If you have to travel more than 2 miles, more than a mile actually, to get fresh fruits and vegetables and things like that, you're living in a food desert. And there aren't many grocery stores in the city, in the inner city. You know, like the area that I was focusing on at the time was the Penn North area, right? Mm-hmm. And so there is Shoppers at Mondawmin would be the closest grocery store, but if you don't drive, you're gonna have to take 2 buses. If you can take the subway,
right?
But the subway's elevator is down until the middle of 2023. So if you're in a wheelchair, or if you have any type of mobile issues, then how you gonna get there, right? And so I just wanted to highlight that, because a lot of our illnesses that they say are hereditary are actually food-driven illnesses. You know,
Facts.
High blood pressure, obesity, these things can be changed based on the foods that we eat. So I just wanted to I like to shed light on as many things as I can, and that's what that project is about.
For sure, man. Even about like the accessibility, right? Like just being able to get there for one.
Right.
I seen one of my brothers in comedy, my man Proc. You had him on there. Funny, absolutely hilarious dude, but he brought up some really serious issues, right? Which is like, yo, I need to get to the spot to even get the things. And
right. And so that with that interview that we did, we actually planned to take the bus to the grocery store just to show that journey, and we missed the bus.
And he wound up having to go.
The bus driver didn't even slow down for us,
which is crazy.
So that's going to be, that would have been another hour wait, and then the ride to the grocery store. And then, I mean, he could use mobility, but then that's still a 3 or 4 hour trip. And so I wanted to show and highlight these things, because these are issues that a lot of times we don't speak on or we don't know about, and they just continue to happen.
And I think another one of the things that you brought up in the Eating While Broke documentary, which also can be watched and streamed on Stream DMV, is that there are people in the community who actually, they give a damn, and they want to, and they trying to do what they can to support. Like they gave the numbers on how many liquor stores and how many like all like fast food restaurants and all of that. And I was like, wow, like it's amazing to have all of this and not have but like 50 supermarkets within a,
Right.
you know what I mean, a large radius of space. You know what I mean? So like, talk about the type of the organization that you guys partner with in order to fight back against these said food deserts or whatever. Like I seen, you know, you talk to, you know, Hug Don't Shoot and Everlasting Life and For My City, these kind of organizations that are like joining you in the effort to spread the awareness, but also doing something about it in the communities that they are a part of to get the resources to the people that need it most.
Yeah, so I just reached out to each of these places, man, because For My City, I didn't know the magnitude of the things that they do.
Yeah.
And so when I reached out to them, they were pretty open and let me come down to their warehouse, and they're actually doing a lot of work, man. They're doing a lot of work. Hug Don't Shoot. Val, she took me to a couple of I guess we'll call them like mom and pop stores in the community where they give away, like you can come in and just get a banana, or you could come in and get, without having any money, you can just show up and they'll feed you as best they can. Important. So it's a lot of small places like that are catering to the community, but they just don't have the platform that, you know, many people can reach out to them and just connect with them.
Oh man, I wanted you to dig into one of your other documentaries, which was Trauma. I thought that was and that might touch on a couple of things, right? Just, you know, with black therapy and things in the neighborhood, like that we don't necessarily talk about. But the documentary one, again, is like, I hate to keep sounding repetitive, dog, but you really do your thing on these documentaries, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
It brings forward a light. It shines a light on things that we don't necessarily talk about on the everyday. And just talk about what that project meant to you. What made you say, I need to do a project like this?
So Trauma is actually based in East Baltimore, right? I just chose the Milton and Montford community because they had just so many shootings. Like within a year, they probably had this year several mass shootings, right? And so if you're living in an environment like that, you're gonna be traumatized. Like if we were not in Baltimore, we were in the military, and our friends were getting killed every day. When we come home, we will be diagnosed with PTSD.
Facts.
But if we're living in a city where we're seeing 350 homicides every year, that would affect us the same way, correct? So I just wanted to highlight that, man, and I wanted to just shed some light into that situation because I feel like it's needed. And I think that creating that project could potentially help create change, or the change that's needed in that community, or all of our communities, to be honest.
I think so too, man. I think one of the scenes on there where you had an officer on just talking, right? Black guy, I don't remember his name, but he was talking about how, you know, he's an officer, but he also lives in the community. That's important. And if he might pull up a young man who, excuse me, if he might pull up a young man who's not doing what he's supposed to do, rather than lock that boy up or beat him up or do all this other crazy stuff, he might figure out what's the problem behind what he's doing, right? It's not just the little boy acting up. It's what is he doing? What's the problem behind that? There's always something behind that. And, you know, we as black people in general don't have a good relationship with the police, right? Like, let's just be clear. That's just what it is. None of us really like the police. But for him to still understand that and be in the system that he can possibly make change in, I think is really important. And to have officers like that in the community who's saying, like, look, I know these kids personally, they just need a job. He just needs something to do. He needs a sport. He needs a this, he needs a that, and help them get there. We don't have enough of that in the community. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we need a lot more of that. And just, again, you shining a light on all of these different areas at one time, I think is amazing, bro. Like,
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. You also are an author, right? Do you want to talk about some of your books?
Yeah, so my first book is called In Case I Never Get to Tell You. And that book started out as like lessons for my kids, right? So I have 3 sons and 2 stepdaughters, and we have some of the best conversations after one of them gets in trouble, right? And it's like, we sitting down, we talking about, yo, this is why this was wrong, or this is why you should have handled it another way, or whatever it is. And so I decided, well, why not put all of this information in a book that not only my kids can have, but anybody can have it. I mean, it's for adults as well, but just some information. I mean, it's about self-accountability. It's about overcoming adversity. It's about living by principles versus living by feelings. And so I packaged this thing together and just made it available for all of us.
That's crazy. You are literally writing out a blueprint for other youth to follow. All they got to do is pick up a book and read it. I think that's amazing, man. How about your podcast, man? What are you focusing in on your podcast?
My podcast is pretty much the same. So everything that I do is about uplifting, educating, and inspiring. And I try to get some entertainment in it as well. Mm-hmm. But everything is about just trying to make somebody better or help you become better. You know what I mean? So the podcast is the same. I haven't done an episode in a while, but one of my most popular episodes is probably with former Mayor Kirk Smoke. We're talking about...
shout out to Kirk Smoke. He was the man back in the day.
Yeah, for sure.
He probably still is the man, but back in the day, I knew he was the man.
Yeah, he's the president over University of Baltimore now.
My man.
And we were talking about institutions like colleges, their role in society. Mm-hmm. And he was actually telling me how the University of Baltimore has like 3 different programs for people who are incarcerated. Mm. And so he was breaking that down and just telling me... how people can get involved with it. He was also talking. We also started talking about how he wanted to not necessarily legalize drugs in the 80s and 90s, mm-hmm. but decriminalize it. Right. And so, a lot of states are moving to do that now. So we were just kind of talking about that in a sense, which I actually got another project that's about drug use. But I got a couple trailers and I'm going to send it to you guys.
My man. And we hope to see it right here on Stream DMV. So if y'all want to see it, y'all know where to come. StreamDMV.com, man. Absolutely. I was actually just about to get into that. Like, what can the viewers expect from you in the future? What other kind of information you want to give out to the people? Or are you looking into like shooting actual like movies? Like instead of the documentary side, what about shooting a movie that focuses on some of these struggles that you're also trying to tackle? Like you ever think about doing something like that?
I do. I got a bunch of scripts. I just haven't been able. The reason I started
waiting on, man. You gotta get that out there, man.
The reason I started shooting documentaries is because I can control more of the environment. You know what I mean? If I'm shooting a movie, I need several pieces. I can shoot a documentary. I just gotta write it first, pick the location, find out who I want to talk to, set it up. I can shoot it. I can edit it. I can do it all myself. Conduct the interviews.
My man.
But when I'm shooting a scripted project, it's it's going to take a little more people. Yeah. But I have them, and I'm ready to do it. I'm available, and I'm looking for the opportunity to get them done.
My man. And if you want to do that, we also got the Actors Academy you can pull from. My man Awesome. Shout out to Awesome. He does the Actors Academy, and you can pull some actors from there, or from the neighborhoods that you in. Right? It's all about, like you said, spreading the word. And I just again, I want to really commend you for spreading the word. How you doing? Like with your documentaries, with your books and everything. Like spreading the word about the resources, spreading the word about what actually is going on out here in the streets, so that we all can see. Is important. And I think that the way that you're going about doing it, like you said, all I got to do is set up a time, set up a place, call whoever up and get it done, and then edit it and put it out there. It's definitely necessary in a time where everything is just about entertainment and dancing and shucking and jiving almost. Right. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about the real, let's talk about the raw issues, get it out to the people, and let's get this thing fixed. Man, where can everybody find you at, man?
Social media wise, Devin Walker Senior on Instagram. I think Facebook is probably the same.
My man, you don't be on there like that. That's like the old people. That's like the old people say. We don't really just, you know what I mean. That's like family, and then Instagram is like where the party at.
Yeah, but for sure, Devin Walker Senior on Instagram.
My man.
And I'm looking forward to getting some feedback from my projects on Stream DMV.
Bro.
And add more projects.
Bro, we watching every single one. I promise you. Like I was enthralled in that shit. Like that. Good information, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
My pleasure, man. All right, man. That's it for the day, man. On Kareem on the stream at streamdmv.com. Make sure you follow Stream DMV on IG and Facebook. You can follow me at Hollywood Tim with 2 M's on IG. That's it. That's all we got for the day. Much love to you, Mr. Devin Walker. Appreciate meeting you, man. It was a pleasure. And we out here, man. Streamdmv.com all day.